This is an incredible high-spec Mark 8.5 facelift VW Golf R Black Edition. We're going to go for a full walk around, all the details of the car. This car is absolutely amazing. You'll get to hear things like this from the sound of the car. And also just all the details that I can. This has been given to me by a subscriber who's just picked up his Golf R Black Edition Germany. You can see some cool equipment there that you get with the car. You just go through everything. That's what this is going to be about. So let's crack on with this one. Yes, so as we start straight away with the walk around of the car. So when I say high spec, this car has every single possible option you can get. Except for one or two things that I will mention. But this is the Warmanor wheels, as you can see there in the Black Edition. And it's a car that I absolutely love and I'm looking forward to driving on the channel as well. And honestly, the photography and the work from the filming from the subscribers is absolutely blown away. So I'll leave his Instagram details below. But this car, as you can see, has the Akrapovic exhaust, which you may have heard just at the start of this. And yeah, this is a super special limited car. Well, I say limited, more of a special edition with more options. Gloss black. I mean, it just looks absolutely stunning. I love that Grenadilla black paintwork. I like the wheels. This car has the panoramic roof. Also has the leather too. Yeah, it looks pretty special. Blacked out VW badge on the front. More sort of aggressive styling. Black brake calipers. Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at... I've been looking around this in absolute awe. It looks stunning. It comes with the performance pack as standard, which means you get the rear wing. You get the higher top speed. This has also got dynamic chassis control. As I said, every single option. Apart from the sport tyres, which you can get in regions such as Germany, you can't get them in the UK. So that's basically more of a semi-slick tyre, for example. And, well, let me know what you guys think in the comments, because this is kind of footage which I really want to share with you, because it's in depth from an owner as well, and actually how to kind of use the car kind of day to day. And I found it quite interesting. The owner was using gloves, and perhaps a little bit of that is there's a lot of gloss black going on in the car. So to keep any fingerprints off, but yeah, it seems to do the job. Plenty of tech now with the Mark 8.5 facelift. That's kind of the biggest change that's been going on here. And as you can see, yeah, I've spent plenty of time with the infotainment and I've got on with it fine. And you know, it's not too imposing. It works very responsively. As you can see, this is changing between so many settings. You've got drift mode, you've got special Nürburgring mode, you've got race mode. That can change the suspension if you have dynamic chassis control, which this car does have. The owner has reported back that they find it sporty, but actually quite comfortable. As of time of filming, you know, I'm filming this on the 22nd of October 2024. The owner's done 600 kilometers. They say that the Akrapovic comes on song after 3,000 RPM. And yeah, a little bit more running in before sort of really getting up to speed this car. Obviously, this is one of an early car that the owner's got, and actually got some nice things from the VW dealer in Germany in terms of a few like R bags, which you might have just seen at the start, and an R hat, which I thought was quite cool. And yeah, going sort of through further, the steering wheel, owner's adjusting it here. Now, although you still get the same haptic buttons, which is actually being changed on all the other Mark 8.5 facelift, they have changed the feel of it. I will have to get feedback from the owner team how they're finding it, but it's designed to be harder to press and to be easier to use, so the ergonomics are better there. That's the idea. And yeah, I love this snow foam sort of clip, the owner giving it a nice wash. Nothing wrong with a car sort of dripping, and yeah, keeping that black paintwork clean is very, very nice. And yeah, and actually to focus a little bit on the Warmanor wheels, now these are kind of like a lightweight option, and actually to clean, I was sort of looking at this kind of image quite a little bit. I say image, it's a bit of a slow motion video. Might be a little bit difficult to clean. It is a black wheel, but what do you think? You can get the Esterals as this. They have to be in black for the Black Edition. And yeah, that's what it looks like. I often find you're kind of missing the R a little bit with the calipers and the, yeah, but that's just me. But that's the wheel. You get an R little logo in the corner too. And if you're interested in that wheel, well, this is the best image you're going to get of it, of a brand new one on a Black Edition. And yeah, does it suit the car? What do you think in the comments? That's up to you. And yeah, so more, honestly, I love the photography. I love the filming of this. and hopefully it gives you a good idea. You've got the panoramic roof up there, you've got everything open to give you an idea what it's like. And I love the blue contrast with the seats. I just think that helps when you're kind of getting into a car like this. But yeah, it's all subjective in terms of what you guys think too. Inside at night, you can really change those colors to change your mood, but it looks proper stealthy and really like a black edition should. You saw that first image where that first film was in sort of like a darker environment. It does come alive. And you can have it in blue, which is kind of a bit more signature R. This has got heads-up display as well. It has the leather seats as well, which I'll talk about too. Got the dyno, the extra sound system. And this is what I was talking about changing the colours and just changing the mood, which is, I feel, is quite nice. You know, red is very much a bit more fiery and, yeah, maybe a little bit more GTI. And then you've got the likes of blue, which is more calming and just easier to go about. But it really does change the entire car inside. Now, this guy's obviously brand new. It's completely stock. None of this has been aftermarket. This is just what comes with the car as standard. And yeah, I mean, let me know what you guys kind of think. And the usability as well, it's quite nice to see it from an owner in terms of how it's working. And, does it work? Basically, is it responsive? Well, this is it. This is how we're seeing it. This is how it happened real time from a new car. Obviously, for me, it's probably better using it not on the move, but you can certainly still get away with things. They've also lit up like the some of the backlit buttons too. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of lost for words because I'm kind of blown away that a subscriber reached out to me with all these film clips of their new black edition, one of the first ones that they've kind of collected, and I'm glad to share it. Really, you get the illuminated VW badge too. I have to say, bits of me at the front, I was kind of like, at first I was like, oh, is that an R line? But then that's what the R line kind of does really sometimes. But as you kind of get into grips with it, you can tell it's a black edition, but also quite subtle. If you don't really know, you don't know. It's just got that good balance for me. Some nice fancy rear light display. You get the R badge as the illuminated sort of light there, and that kind of shines. Those rear cluster lights look pretty great, and the blacked out VW badge at the rear with that rear diffuser, the Akrapovic exhaust, that performance spoiler. Well, yeah. I mean, it's a special car, and potentially one of the last ICE Rs that we're really going to see going forward. And I love the locations as well. I'm a big fan of where you're kind of taking things, and yeah, it looks pretty special up there too. And I thought I'd leave that little bit of sound in actually, because that you can basically do like a special race sporty startup essentially, and it will rev higher. And it really does, and I'll show you later on actually, the sound of this car from startup is great. Really is. We'll go through the interior too. This is what it's like on the R Black Edition. And I feel they've improved the quality of a lot of things, of the touch and feel from my time spent in the MK8.5. And things seem to work. And yeah, is the haptic-y touch sort of buttons the best thing? Well, this owner's using it here, and it's up to you whether or not you feel that works with you. In the boot, I loved the R bag. It's like a proper gym bag and the R cap. I thought that was super cool, but plenty practical. With the Haldex 4Motion system, you do lose a little bit of boot space because it just basically you can't lower it down as much, but plenty for most people. It does the job. For those who are not familiar with my other videos, this car is essentially 333 PS, 4Motion, Golf R, that's all you need to know. VW Golf, what more do you need than that in the life? But this is one sort of turned up to the max. We'll step into the back too. You get a better view of the leather seats now, which is an optional extra. It brings out a bit more, premium nature for the car, I feel. And I like how he's positioned the hat there for thinking this one through. And again, yeah, check out the description. The owner, happy to give his Instagram kind of a shout out too, because I felt it was really good. And the generosity to share it, to take the time out is really grateful and appreciated. There's the wheel. So the owner mentioned about the tyres. Obviously, you can get the sport tyres, and in Germany, which are quite cool, but we're heading into sort of like the winter months, so perhaps not appropriate, but it is an option. I'm a bit sad that that's not an option in the UK. A car that I'm driving in about a week's time now, In the UK, obviously, we'll just have normal. I don't even know what tyres. I guess I'll find out. And yeah, subscribe if you want to see my first kind of driving impressions of the car. Yeah, but as I kind of go through these videos, these images, let me know what you think. Is it your taste? You can get the black edition in white and lapis blue. You can get it with white with a black roof as well, and lapis blue with a black roof. The black edition, obviously in granular black, particularly with a pan roof, it's just all blacked out. It's really, really sort of like stealthy. I feel it's like there's almost like a little getaway car in some ways. That's how it kind of feels to me. Under the hood, under the bonnet, so you've got the trusty 2-litre EA AAA engine. This is the latest generation of that car, and it's in so many different platforms. New turbo, so it's bigger turbo, 4-cylinder, so it's still pretty economical. Only petrol. There's no sort of hybrid or any sort of assistance in these cars. It's just as it is, tried and tested. This engine, I love it. I've got it in my Mark 7 Golf R, just not as a later generation, but yeah, it's more than special enough. Yeah, amazing. And the owner again sort of shared a little bit more inside. You get the 7-speed sort of DSG gearbox there. This car's reversing camera too, and you get an idea of that. You get the sort of like R steering wheel with the R logo on it. You get those larger enhanced paddles, which is part of the R in general anyway. And I'm interested to know what the buttons are like as well on the actual steering wheel, how they're kind of working. I think that's super intrigues me, and obviously I'll share that with you. Again, loads of different assists, endless sort of speed limited. There's the sort of heads-up display, which hopefully you can see quite well there, thanks to the owner. And there's the black sort of sign on the badge. And yeah, listen to the noise of this car, and yeah, let me know what you think as we show that. It sounds so thunderous with the Akrapovic exhaust. What a noise, particularly in 2024. It's just good to hear, and it sounded really special. And it's probably only going to get better as it gets more warmed up. Certainly on cold start and on the move, you can really hear it. It feels really organic. And that's a nice sort of feature in the car, and it's good to have real exhaust pipes as well at the back. Actually all links up quite nicely as well. But yeah, we've got some more sound clips, so yeah, I'll play that for you just now. And just got sort of like, again, having a little bit of focus, a little bit more on the wheels. It was kind of like the only real main highlight when I read the Volkswagen press newsroom release thing. They were like, we've got the unique wheels. And it was perhaps a little bit of a damp squib in some ways. I think the wheels are great, and I think they're lightweight and they look cool. Should Volkswagen have done more with this black edition? Was there more that they could improve? Could they have given it more power? Could they have given it a little bit more of an edge? I'm not so sure. I think it's a nice little touch to the R range, and does differentiate it outside of a normal Mark 8.5 Golf R, particularly if you don't go for performance pack. If you go for performance pack, black edition will potentially make sense, particularly as you can pretty much get it with all the same options. I think non-performance pack cars, which is without the rear wing, without sort of like the special Nürburgring modes, which can change so many features, you've got those options. But I've discussed this so many times. I'm so looking forward to driving it just to see what it's like. I love a car that's just practical. It's a Golf. It does everything. It can still be sporty. It can still be fun. It's the one trick pony. It's got it all. The IQ headlights there, the fancy sort of light displays. Very nice. And the Akrapovic exhaust titanium system, very sort of premium, I've got to say, on that sort of element of things. And yeah, and again, it's just a normal car. You go to the petrol station, you fill it up. It's nothing complicated. It's just designed to sort of look after you. and your family as well. It can work as a practical family car. You can only get the black edition in hatch though. You can't get it in the estate form. This is the panoramic roof that this owner's got. And I've played around with panoramic roofs on Mark 8.5s, and they're really, really nice. Let in plenty of light. The car's plenty airy in the cabin from my sort of perspective anyway, but that just adds another little element for it. And you can hear that Akrapovic exhaust just that extra bit more, which is very, very nice. Very, very nice indeed. And yeah, as we're coming towards sort of like the ending part of the sort of walk around and the clips that the owner has kind of shared, let me know what you think in the comments. This is a community channel, and yeah, hopefully my voice hasn't been too boring for you while you've been sort of admiring the full walk around of this super high spec, every single option. It's as good as you're gonna get, really, and it looks absolutely, yeah, it's just a super cool car, and I'm happy to see it in 2024, and yeah, and sharing it with you. That's the key. I think there's only one place to end this, and that's with the Akrapovic exhaust. Have a little listen, see what you think, and subscribe for my first drive and first impressions of the car. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and big thanks to the owner too for sharing this.